You'll see from the comments under this video that a lot of people can't believe this, but this is true. I know it's true. Many years ago I was unemployed effectively, but I used that time to work as an outreach worker, if you like, an evangelist. And God really blessed that time. It was an amazing, amazing time. Saw a lot of miracles. Here's a miracle which many of you will find very difficult to believe. I still find it very difficult to believe as well, but I know it definitely happened. And one day a friend needed a lift somewhere, and I offered to give them this lift, and it was much further away than I thought it was. And at that time I was relying on unemployment benefit, and I had a family with 2 young children dependent on me, and I had my unemployment benefit, or what was left of it, for the week. Off we went. The first thing that happened was I needed to put fuel in the car, and so I did that, and that ate into quite a lot of the money. Now when we set off, we had £35 plus some change, and that was a £5 note, a £10 note, a £20 note and some change, and quite a lot of change at that. The £5 note was really scruffy, really scruffy and worn out and crumpled up. The £10 note had been kind of rolled up quite tight and then folded really sharply, so that when it was opened up it was folded over and over again, very distinct. And the £20 note was really crisp and brand new, and that had been folded in 4. And this was how these notes had come to me from wherever they come from, change in the shops or whatever it may be. So anyway, we set off, we filled the car with fuel, and we then had to pay a toll on a bridge, and we paid for parking during the day, and we bought some clothes for the children, and then we came back again, and I can't remember if we paid the bridge toll again or if it's free on the way back, I forget. And of course we had to buy food during the day and things like that. When we got back, we had a little bit of change left, and my wife and children went to bed. I was left on my own, and I put the change on the dining room table, and I looked at it and thought, my goodness, there isn't much left. And that had to see us through another week or two at the time, and I knew it was nowhere near enough. I mean, it wasn't enough to see us probably through the next day even. Hardly any change at all. All the paper money had gone, and a bit of a freaky kind of moment. So anyway, I just looked at that, and I guess I just prayed about it. I'm not sure exactly what I said, but you know, I just committed that whole situation into God's hands, and I went to bed. When we came down in the morning, on the dining room table there was a crumpled up and very scruffy, well worn out £5 note. There was a £10 note as well, which had been folded over and over, as though somebody had rolled it up and then folded it really sharply, so that when it unrolled it was all you know, lines all the way across it. And there was a brand new £20 crisp, clean note, which had been folded in 4. There was also a huge pile of change, a lot of change, at least as much change as there had been when we set out the day before. So at the end of the day, somebody had replaced every single penny of the money that we had spent the day before on just simply doing a good deed. And nobody else had access to the house, nobody else in the house had money, nobody else lived in the house, just myself, my wife, my 2 young children, and we certainly had no money apart from what was coming in from the social. So this was, without a doubt, a miracle. And I can tell you loads and loads of miracles like that. Now, a lot of people are not going to like that, and a lot of people are going to find that impossible to believe, let alone difficult, because I mean, materialists can only grasp what is material at the end of the day, and money appearing out of nowhere. I've driven the car on no fuel before, and all sorts of things like that. Miracles of God. Jesus said that if you seek first his kingdom and his righteousness, all the material things that the pagans run after, he said, you don't need to run after them at all. He said, all these things will be given to you as well by your Father in heaven. And I praise him and I worship him. Thanks for listening.